announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Mercer, one half of the tag team champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. It's the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee breath that I
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show episode 771 Tuesdays. We've been talking about professionalized wrestling. I am Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm real. I'm here. I'm not in a hotel room. God knows where. I think last week's came to you from like Las Vegas or something. But we are back, and I'm going to be here for several Tuesdays for a while here. So, but this is a momentous occasion. First of all, well, this is the usual, but I mean, it's always momentous when we invite Mad Mike on the show. The only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE. It's real. It's framed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not framed yet.
Oh.
I'm working on it.
It's been like 8 years, Mike.
Yeah. Sorg, you have to find the right frame.
Listen, yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, I am sitting on a couple of movie posters I never got framed, so I get it. I get it. Well, let's see. Where do we start here? First of all, we have going down the line. Mainstream Matt is here of Just Pro Wrestling News.
What's happening, Sorgy?
There
Great
it
to be
is.
here.
Yeah.
Did you actually commit to several Tuesdays in a row? Can we quote you on that?
Several Tuesdays in a row.
Several in a row.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I know. It's like the good old days of me being here every week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Mason is here.
Hi.
He will give us visual cues when I ask him a question. So just warning you guys on the podcast. So of the Mason Mania that we talk about. And then also Rob's in the background hanging out, eating some tacos. So if you hear something in the background, that's him. Is he on video over here?
Come
I don't
over
know.
here,
Do we
Rob.
got a hand?
Do a flyby here.
Just,
Come on.
do a flyby. Just so some meat space. Hi.
Superman video. Rob was in the back.
There you go. And of course, our guest of honor this week, the queen of the silver screen, Katie Arquette, joining us in the studio. Hello.
As I kick my mic away. Hello.
Yes, welcome back. It's been forever. I think the last time you were here, you were eating bacon.
I think I was. Probably. Oh
I
my
knew
gosh,
I liked
yeah.
you.
And
Knew I
shaking
liked
up
you.
orange juice. It was Donald Duck orange juice, I remember.
Yes.
That was
because-
great. We
listen,
should have more food
listen, if
on
I'm
the
gonna,
podcast.
If I'm going to invite you in for a special shoot, I'm going to take care of you with the finest in Donald Duck orange juice, okay?
I expect nothing less.
It had a comic on the side, didn't it?
It
They
did.
still do it. It's amazing. So thank you so much for it's good to have you back on and catching up with you, and also getting to film some of your matches here in recent months as well. We'll get into, right?
It's definitely been quite a while. I'm glad to be back. I've been here a couple of times, and it's been a while, so I'm glad to be here.
And this is I kept saying during the slice ads, we're gonna have a pizza party coming up, and tonight was the night that everybody wanted to come over.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah, they're Mason's just rocking that. He's ready for the pizza party. So
There's visual cues.
Just go back later and grab that GIF for
yes,
the Slice on Broadway
somebody
ad.
put that
Yeah,
time
absolutely.
in there. So, but this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. You can just edit the email address.
Good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. 412-206-WMS0 is the number that you can put in. You probably already have it as under your ex's phone number, so you can drunk dial us whenever you're ready to. But also, you can check out WrestlingMayhemShow.com, and please subscribe to us wherever you get your fine podcasts. Look for the Wrestling Mayhem Show on your Apple, on your Google, on your Spotify, wherever you like to podcast. And of course, if you want more, we got the Wrestling Mayhem Show super feed with this, the Monday show, and when we do it, it's coming back. The Indie Mayhem Show will be part of that, and any other specials that may come up, as well as the Sorgatron Media Master feed that has the wrestling shows, the Awesome Cast, Fishing Without Bait, Bardic Mystery Tour, Dungeons & Dragons, Comic Book Pit. Everybody part of the Sorgatron Media Network is a part of that. So however you like to dish up your podcast pleasures for the week out of the Pittsburgh area and what we're doing here at the studio and abroad. And also, please, of course, subscribe. When you subscribe, rate and review us as well on those, especially on the Apple podcast. It's very, very helpful. And also join us on Facebook, YouTube. We are streaming every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook and YouTube, as well as the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. However, it is easier for you to get into the chat. A lot of people, of course, hanging out usually on the Facebook page. I'm seeing Tina out there in the sweltering northwest. Jeez.
Oh.
Jen. Well, hey, Jen Carlins is out there making sure Mason's behaving. Mason has a lot of fans in there. You might be the negative one of this show. Is what it is.
Oh, wow.
Turns out.
Yeah.
So
Almost as unpredictable and violent also. So.
yes, I do have a kendo stick over here, but
Oh, no.
So if Mason makes Mad Mike cry by the end of the night, then we know where this is going. So
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last time.
No.
I haven't seen it, so I kind of want to see it. Let's get the kendo stick.
There you go. We'll reenact a scene from your Toys R Us days there, Mike. He just got shivers.
Oh no, never again.
Anyways,
Never
thank
again.
you.
I don't want to grow up.
Thank
I'm
you.
a grown-up kid.
Thank you to Patreon supporters supporting the show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. We like to throw some extra clips out for you throughout the weeks whenever we can. Thank you to our friends that support the show out there, including at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! As well as Ed Burke and Team Hammer Fist. And at the Poppy Club level, our buddies Dave Podner and our friends at OccupyProWrestling.com. At the Pizza Club, Doc Remedy, Kyle Turner, the Riz of Riz Plays Games, and Bobby F. J-Town. And up at the manager level, I think there might be an adjustment here, but they'll get an extra plug. I don't care. They deserve it because they've been longtime supporters. Farnsworth Investments, Bradley, who just called a shot. Bradley's coming to the Mayhem show next month, or 2 months from now, actually, by the way.
He finally found out when International Butts Day is.
He did, and he'll be joining us for it, apparently.
That is some long-term booking.
That is long-term booking. And also Tina Keys at the manager level. Thank you so much, everybody that supports the show. You can, too, at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Now is a part of the show where we talk about the wrestles. And Mike, you said you had some... I don't know. I asked if you had a rant for tonight, and you said, yes, I think I have something. So I'm going to defer to you on getting us started tonight. Well, what's going on?
I mean, I really don't. But, you know, I figure we could talk about Money in the Bank.
Where are we at? How far out is that? Is that
a
couple weeks? Couple weeks? Okay, since
I figure we could talk about, like, who's in so far, who we want to see in, who we think might be good.
Okay.
Like, people for Money in the Bank.
So first of all, I need a disclaimer. As somebody who's like avoided Monday nights, Raw and everything, are we still, please, just disclaim for anybody else who may just be avoiding WWE product, are we doing it in a building again?
It's definitely in a building.
I mean, is the building the ladder like last year? Are we doing Titan Towers
Someone
again?
can get chucked off the roof of the building.
It's live.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
And it was through
How
the
could
whole
you?
building.
How could you forget about that?
Your brain blocked it out.
I did.
That's what happened.
I just blocked it out.
I feel like it's something I would have booked with my action figures. And
I still
and
contend
then
that
they
I really
did it.
enjoyed that match.
It was
I
it
mean,
was
it was
fun.
a
I
cool
loved it.
concept, but it was definitely not normal.
It
like
was
usual.
It was fun. They killed at least 2 individuals and retconned it the next night. So, I mean,
hey, to be fair, that's a standard night in most wrestling companies.
the people get murdered off of the show. I think I
Yeah.
have seen some. I've seen some indie wrestling murders actually.
Exactly.
So I mean, I did see 2 shows with the Soul Taker. So
Phoenix was literally killed, I think, 3 times in Lucha Underground.
it's Ray Phoenix.
I mean,
He was. No, he was a
Muertes
zombie for a
killed
while,
twice,
wasn't he?
probably.
Yes, but anyways, so back to we're having a men's and a women's Money in the Bank.
Da.
So what is the status as of this week? Less than 2 weeks out from Money in the Bank, which is that the one in Fort Worth, Texas?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, so there'll be the first pay-per-view in front of a live audience. As Matt, I think, has said last week that we were dead on them mailing in these last few Thunderdome shows,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, mailing in the past 2 or 3 months of Thunderdomes while they get ready for live fans again.
Yeah. So, so where are we at? What's happening?
So right now, for the men, and Wikipedia is incorrect on this, so don't go by Wikipedia.
Oh, jeez.
Never go by Wikipedia.
Right now we have Ricochet, Johnny Drip Drip, that's John Morrison, Riddle, Big E, and Drew McIntyre for the men's. And there's supposed to be a couple more. Oh, it says Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn plus 2 more to be determined. So yeah, okay, so that's accurate. Because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have a last man standing match on Friday as a qualifier.
It's a
for ladder
qualifier?
match.
What?
As a qualifier.
See, my understanding was that only Sammy could get in with the win, and that if Kevin won, it was just kind of like Sammy doesn't get in. But now we're
No, it's a qualifier.
now the most trusted name in pro wrestling news, Wikipedia, is saying that it is.
No, it was on Raw last night.
Oh, it was on Raw last night.
Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
And for the women so far, we have Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Carmella, and Liv Morgan, and 2 more to be determined.
Generally, I don't hate that lineup for Money in the Bank, men's side at least.
I feel like they could have gotten more creative with the men's side.
I mean,
Mustafa Ali needs to be in there.
yeah, but they're not giving anything to him lately for some reason.
No, I know.
So that's just kind of goes with the territory at the moment.
He's also been banged up too, Sorg. He had
Has
like
he?
a knee thing going
Okay.
on for a while.
Okay. So it's not-
Okay. So
Okay.
all right.
I mean, I'm not making an excuse for them leaving him out of the match, but
Is that from his amazing 3-week stint with Ricochet on Main Event?
no, I think he was wrestling through the injury when he did that. amazing
Really?
3-week
And he
stint
turned
with
and they
Ricochet.
turned in those matches?
Yeah.
That was if you
Well, you know, 75% of a Mustafa Ali is worth,
well, okay.
100% of most other guys.
So most of those matches should be on Peacock by now, but to go back and look and find like the 3 weeks is usually the beginning of the show where it was just a feud and these just great matches on Main Event between Ricochet and Ali.
Sorg, I'll check right now if they're on Peacock.
If or if you have Hulu, they're on I think first week up on there, and I think it's about 3 weeks out on Peacock. So what? Oh yes, Mason.
I want to see Charlotte in the Money in the Bank Yada match.
You want to see Charlotte in there?
No, I want to see Sayo.
Cesaro.
Oh, Cesaro. Okay. well,
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I think we all want to see Cesaro.
Yeah, he needs to be in there. I do see that we're gonna have Bobby Lashley and Kofi Kingston for the title during the pay-per-view.
That we are.
That's gonna be a good match.
Oh, 100%.
Beware of accidental Kofi Mania 2. They walked right into it.
Especially with the fan, like going into it with the fans.
Yeah, and Kofi cut the like monster promo on Monday.
Did he?
And got everyone all fired up now. Yeah,
Oh,
watch out.
Oh, jeez. I'm looking down this a little bit again.
But I don't know if there are any like front runners still to be placed in either of these Money in the Bank matches. Mike, do you think there's like a potential winner who still has not been announced for either of these matches yet?
Barring like a surprise return from Keith Lee, I think the winner's probably already been announced.
Okay.
for
All
the
right.
match. But
Not-
I'd say like Cesaro and Keith Lee are the only 2 people who aren't in it who I think could easily win it.
I agree with that.
Okay. Elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Is Drew going to win Money in the Bank
Yes.
and cash in on Bobby Lashley at the end of the
Yes.
night so we can get 6 more months of Lashley versus McIntyre?
Yeah, absolutely. Or just put the title back on Drew and it's all as well, and let him do something different that's more entertaining and exciting. Not saying the same
All right,
thing.
I'm gonna present a scenario.
The couch is very much on board with this.
I'm gonna present a scenario. I don't even know if I want to see this, but it popped in my brain, so I have to express it to the world. Big E wins Money in the Bank.
Please.
Right?
Please.
Wow.
Big
I
E
wouldn't be
Mania.
upset with
Yeah,
that.
Big E Mania. We love it.
I love it.
No, not Biggie.
Oh no, why
Oh,
not?
what?
Why not Biggie?
I want to see Sayo.
Yeah, we
Well,
all
okay.
want to see Cesaro. I mean, come on.
But
We've been asking
all
for
right.
Cesaro for 10 years.
Let's
Yeah,
see
yeah.
if you guys like it
We're
when
getting
I
tired.
finish my scenario.
Okay.
All right, so Kofi loses at Money in the Bank with via MVP interference and all that stuff. Yada yada yada. So we get a rematch at SummerSlam. Kofi beats Lashley at SummerSlam. Gets the title. Kofi Mania 2. Confetti all down. Woods comes in. He's blowing the New Day Rocks trombone. Then Big E runs down. And, he's running down. He's happy. He's elated and everything. Then right in the middle of the celebration, Big E pulls out another gift for Kofi, like he did at WrestleMania.
Oh.
And it's the Money in the Bank briefcase. And he attacks Woods.
Oh,
He attacks Kofi.
You're
And
hurting
Big
me.
E Mania
No.
at SummerSlam.
You're making kids cry, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
both
no.
the kids on the couch right now.
But just
No, I
imagine
don't
the
want
scene
that.
of pinning Kofi in his celebration confetti.
Why do we have to keep just tampering down on Kofi. Just let him have a
Oh
moment.
no, trust me. I don't want this to happen.
Well, then don't say it.
But no, I'm saying
Don't
it so
speak it
doesn't.
into
Just
reality.
speaking it.
But
jinxing it.
if they want to do something new, fresh, and innovative, that's definitely a way to go.
There's your reaction shot right there.
Yeah.
He's burying his head in a pillow.
I'm here for it.
He's
I mean, granted, that does sound like an awesome way to go about it all, but no one wants to see them all. See,
Oh, no.
no one wants to see it at all. It's too
This
traumatizing.
is your target demographic
it's
right
about
here,
the
weeping
kids,
into his pillow.
people.
Are you
Okay,
happy now?
do you see what it's doing to
should have-
everybody? Prime example if it happens.
Okay, I'm fine.
No, he just wants Cesaro. That's why he's really
Yeah,
upset.
exactly.
that is a visualization of how we feel about Cesaro on the inside.
But,
Right
but
there.
if you want a better reaction shot of Taker losing, get the reaction shots of Big E turn on the New Day.
That's probably true.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, that's the Shield times 10. That's Rollins hitting Reigns by 10. That's what that is.
My wife says this would be worse than the Shield breakup. You know that's a high bar for her.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm
Yeah.
well aware of that.
Yeah.
And DP says, "Can we have the return of Boombox Brock?" And to that, so how do we ban people from the chat room?
No.
How
it's
do we?
okay.
How do we? Oh, look, ban from page.
It's
mute
okay.
for
He's a
15
contributor.
minutes.
He's a contributor, Mike. Don't do
I can do
that.
these things.
Don't do that.
So for the women's side, I have a theory.
Okay.
I'm going to sum it up very simply for all of you. Carmella becomes the first 3-time Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
As long as Ellsworth doesn't come back, because we don't need that.
I mean, to do it without Ellsworth would be
Yeah,
notable.
Right.
Unless she produces some other, unwelcome human to.
As the sommelier comes back.
Oh, Reginald comes back and helps her. Yup.
Oh man, I can't wait for Reginald to become the women's Money in the Bank hoarder.
Oh God.
Jeez. I know how mad Mike, how mad Mike was.
You know what?
Yes.
The only way I'll accept Carmella winning the Money in the Bank again is if the Iconics help her catch it in again.
Hold on, Mason, you have anything to say about this?
How about Becky H win the Money in the Bank briefcase?
Yes, please.
There you go.
Becky
So
Lynch.
I mean-
Yes, please.
Man.
She needs to come back. I
Yes,
miss her
yes.
so much.
She makes her surprise entrance in the wedding gown.
Well, by the way, they are getting married today, so
Yep.
Mazel Tov to
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Lynch.
That's
Fantastic.
exciting. Yep, she's the man, so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh boy. Wow. So Money in the Bank's coming up. I'm excited to see what it looks like in front of fans. I just, the over-under on is WWE going to get a rude awakening when the fans actually tell them what they think.
Oh yeah.
Also, the over-under on them still using fake crowd sounds to sweeten the crowd on TV.
Ew.
I don't like that.
I mean, I feel like they are addicted to it and overuse it for the last year and a half. That they're
I
going to
think
still want
it's
to.
going to be hard for them to do that with a live crowd.
Is it?
I think so.
I mean, they were already doing it.
They were to a point.
Well, I guess for the
Yeah,
tape
but-
shows they were
but-
doing it.
Like when you have people on the Thunderdome not reacting,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. You don't really notice it. But if you're playing a whole lot of "Let's go," someone's out and
you,
everyone's sitting on their hands,
yeah.
it's going to become a lot more evident that these
Yeah.
aren't real
It
noises.
depends on how you shoot it. You can get around that, Mike. I think. I
Well,
mean,
Not in hard camera.
Even just to getting around it camera-wise, it's just not authentic. It's not real.
Yes.
That's the problem. Like, I get why they're doing it. Like, you have to do something with everything that's been going on, and you want to try to make up for it somehow because you need reactions. You can't, I mean, have you ever watched a wrestling match on mute? You just can't get into it. Like, you have to have, sound, but it's not real. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
it's
awesome.
like
It's like,
watching a
is it
sitcom without a
awesome?
laugh
Is it?
track.
Because, dude, the fans think it's awesome. I don't know. They're just replaying
I may
everything.
disagree with the fans think that this is awesome, but at least that's actually their opinion, okay? Like a computer isn't telling me,
Exactly.
or the abysmal like Undertaker farewell chants,
Oh,
right? Or so
man.
bad.
They should have just waited.
Yes.
Like-
yes.
No.
I get why they didn't wait because it was the anniversary of
And-
Survivor Series.
Yes, and also we didn't know how long things were going to go. They wouldn't like could they wait another year? They really didn't know. You know, I mean nobody did.
And plus, they didn't. I don't think they wanted to wait another year because this year's Survivor Series is someone else's anniversary. When they show up.
Oh.
Mr. Dwayne Boulder Johnson.
Oh.
Boulder. The Boulder.
The Boulder.
Mhm. The Boulder. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Gotta get around copyrights, kid. So
Katie, I want to ask you a little bit more about this wrestling in front of canned audio, computer audio.
Okay.
Since you're an expert on this, and all right, so is this a cheat? Is this a betrayal of the art form to do that? And if that is the case, because I've been thinking about this too, then how far? Does that mean that any pre-recorded pro wrestling match is a cheat? Does that mean that like old WCW Saturday Night is a cheat? Does that mean Lucha Underground is a cheat because all these other shows were pre-recorded and could have been sweetened and enhanced after the fact?
So what's the question?
The question is, since we're stating that okay, these Thunderdome SmackDowns and Raws with the crowd reaction, the computer crowd reaction noises and things like that, and pre-recording and re-editing and crash pads and whatever else they've been doing, you know, in this building while no one is there to see it live. If we all agree that it's a cheat, that it's not, you know, true pro wrestling, then can't that be like dragged out to the point where like it invalidates all this other wrestling that we like and we try to appreciate over the years?
basically,
too?
Matt's going down the rabbit hole on this.
I wouldn't, not
It's a
necessarily.
slippery slope.
Yes, it is a slippery slope because, like I said, I understand why they're doing it. However, wrestling is about the fans. Why else would you be wrestling? You know, like you put on, like when I'm in the ring, I make connections with every fan out there. You know, whether I'm yelling at them or trying to get them to, you know, get behind me, like. Their reactions are how I'm going to base my next move off of and how I'm going to try to win this match. If the fans aren't there to give real opinions, because sometimes there are matches that didn't go the way you wanted to, and guess what? The fans aren't stupid. Yeah. They're going to say, no, I don't like that. That was bad. And if there were moments with the tapings, whether it be WWE or Impact or whatever, you know it's not real because if something did get botched or messed up or you didn't go the way you wanted to, you can't have, this is awesome. And it's like, no, it's not, because they clearly messed up. And I think that's the whole point behind it is it's about the fans. If the fans aren't there, then I don't really know why I'm really trying to strive for something, because they're the ones I want to impress or get behind me. Otherwise it's, okay, well here, I'm just going to wrestle and tape it and put it online and see what everybody thinks.
And they can edit out the bad parts that they don't like later on. Like
Yep.
part of wrestling is, as the performer, is the risk and the danger, and there is no net, and the live crowd could do anything.
But also,
it's live. It's live with the fans. People don't realize that. Like, we all know the ins and outs at this point in time. Like, we're not dumb. The fans aren't dumb. But exactly, like, you can't. Yeah, I don't know.
And also the idea, like, also remember, like, the live wrestling concept wasn't really, other than pay-per-views and closed caption in the 80s. Like, we didn't get regular live on our television wrestling that wasn't pre-recorded until what, Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, and even then it was live 1 week and pre-recorded.
Well, right. So, but even to that extent, we didn't get that. So like.
Well, you had Saturday Night's main event, but
that was usually
live
pre-taped.
tape.
That was usually pre-taped. Sometimes not even that night, I thought. Because you would see, because you'd see like banners on Superstars and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's not a new concept, because that was like what, 30 years ago at this point. Oh God.
Try 40.
40?
Maybe.
No, one, two,
Go to
no, that's
85.
3 decades. So we're talking about 93.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Monday Night Raw.
Oh, never mind.
Oh
You're
no,
okay.
Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw as your first live thing. Like a regular live thing. Clash of the Champions, I guess, would have been live before that and stuff like that. But the first week-to-week ish, we'll say ish, because I know they did every other.
Well, I mean, when did Nitro start? 94, 95?
90, yeah, I think 94. 5.
Because
days,
Nitro
right?
went live every week. So
Right. So and that made them do it, and that whole thing. But still, either way, it was regular live without a net wrestling. Mason's arm is about to fall
I
off, so I'm
know.
gonna let him. Mason, what do you think about live wrestling and this idea that it never happened decades before you were born?
Oh gosh.
And the computer fans ruined the fears of WWE.
I think he doesn't like the computer fans, Sorg.
Okay.
I think that's what he's going for.
Okay.
But he had his hand up for a long time.
He did
He's
have his
getting
hand up
exhausted
for a
now.
long time.
I guess what they're pointing out is like there's a lot of people who just want to like take all the raw and all this Thunderdome stuff. There's a lot of fans who just want to take and just put it in the bin. Forget it. You know, this is bullcrap. This is not true wrestling. But we've been consuming not true wrestling for a long time.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
You know, there is not a lot of true, live, authentic, dangerous live pro wrestling out there.
No, there's not a lot, but you can view it over on indiewrestling.us and the indiewrestling.network.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
You know how risky live is? Rob over there almost got taken out by a chair last week. I thought Tito was getting you. Like, I almost ducked under. Like, I saw it coming at you on the monitor in the back, and I ducked.
Run.
Come here.
Well, tell us about your harrowing tale with live pro wrestling this past weekend here. So, well, get up to the mic. Get up the mic. Not to say that we put our employees in danger over here, but so.
I think everybody else was more afraid that I was about to get decapitated
Yes.
than I was. But
I think Tito saw it afterwards. It was like, oh, that was a lot closer than I
yeah,
expected.
woo, it went right over me. But
Yes.
But there was a point, I think, where because there were a lot of tag matches too. So
Yes.
it's like, but I'm trying to stick that corner where I know I got kicked a couple times, and I think, and I think it might have been again. It's like not that he meant to, but I think like VJ Hales or somebody like hit my camera, but because it was on the monopod that I had, which bends that way anyway, it just turned the camera over rather than it could have been worse.
Get this angle instead.
But it was just a difficult show to film at points.
Yeah, it can be, can it?
Plus we had the guardrails back and they were closer. And
yeah.
there was
Okay.
a lot.
Here's the shot. So
Yeah.
Oh
you
my
see him
gosh.
ducking. So we see this shot come up, and it just looks like he's ready to just wail it right at your head over the top rope there.
Yeah, I never did see that, but
That's
but it is a
right.
good clean. He threw it right down the middle.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely
I
did.
remember that.
Rob,
He
I
probably
like the
did
way-
see you.
I like the way he double takes to make sure he didn't kill you after he's thrown the
Yeah, he's like,
Oh my God, he did!
No.
Yeah.
He was
Or
making
if
no.
there was ever a time to invest in
He was
3D
making.
wrestling
I think
filming,
he was making
that
sure
might have been it.
he was making sure the chair didn't take out the $5,000 kabuki screen that Marshall has in the entranceway,
Yeah.
and whether he's coming back next time. So that's what that was.
Or any of the really super mouthy crowd that was sitting over there.
Yeah, there was,
They
the
were-
crowd was
they were
definitely a
bad.
problem there. Speaking of fans being back, but anyway, but you can see that you can also replay that on loop yourself over at indiewrestling.network, indiewrestling.us on VOD. The DVD is processing right now. If you're going to be pre-ordering that is available over there. Prospect Pro Wrestling, the Rise Wrestling, Rise Returns is up with new commentary by Joe Dombrowski, also up today. So please go check all of that out. A lot of stuff. Are we juggling headphones or something over there?
He was like, I'm coming back. I got something else to say.
Oh,
Okay, no, I
he's
don't.
got
No, I
something
don't.
out. He's
No,
coming
no,
back. He's
coming
doing a
back.
running. He's doing a running.
I had a question, but I'll ask you later.
No, I want to know the question.
Yeah,
Wait, this was an ordeal.
Is this an on-air
I don't know.
question?
it
Are
has
you
to- it
are
has to
you
do with the
okay?
commentary.
Do I need to pay for like PTSD?
No.
And hopefully this isn't the thing to get it since you actually went to Afghanistan.
I'm fine. It was a question about the Rise commentary. But
We'll talk about that off air. Joe did a fantastic job.
Yes, Dombrowski.
Yes. He's always the one to go to in a pinch, and
Always awesome.
and always great stuff. He enjoyed it. I don't think he'd seen much of a Rise show, so he got to see what's going on over there, and it was had some good things to say about it on social media. I just have this on a loop in front of me right now, by the way, and it's just entertaining. Also, part of that Prospect Pro Wrestling show. It's good to have back on those shows, Katie Arquette. You've been on the last couple of them, of course.
Yes.
And you've had a little bit of a feud and a problem with one Paris Sahara.
Yes,
And,
Paris.
So
And freaking Ella. She's getting involved too.
And I haven't been familiar with Ella. Is a new introduction to me over the last couple of shows, of course. And of course, I know for seconding Chase Gold in the past at the Halloween show. But Paris is new and is a very interesting individual in there. So tell us a little bit about having Paris as your opponent.
Oh yeah, very interesting. He's a sassy little biatch. That's literally what he is. And then Ella doesn't help anything else. I mean, from last show, or not this past one, but the one in, what was it, June, it was supposed to be me and Ella, and I was going to take home the gold once again with her because, you know, it's with her. And then freaking Paris decides to interrupt the entire match and just put himself in there. Excuse me, can we talk to the booking agent here? Because my contract said to have a singles match tonight, not a triple threat. So it definitely took me off my game. However, I did get the upper hand. But then I had to deal with both of them again, except it was a singles with Paris, and Ella had to be there, and I'm sure we can all watch the tape back about her getting in the way and Paris being the sassy little biatch that he is. I need another question.
That's okay, because we have an expert interviewer with here tonight.
Wait, what?
Yes.
We're experimenting. Part of the, what do we call it, Matt? The future podcasters
of America.
Right? So
Yes.
so we did have. We're gonna try something new here. Mason, this is your first time interviewing a pro wrestler, an actual pro wrestler, right?
I'm flattered. I'm excited.
Yes. So do you have a question for Miss Katie?
Okay. What's your record IWC?
What's what?
What's your record in IWC?
What's your
What's
record,
your
in
record
IWC?
in IWC?
Oh gosh. That's a very specific question.
Do I need to
You
go to-
already stumped her.
I
That-
mean,
just
I
great work.
could tell you
That's
this.
a-
I can't
that's
give
a
you all
gotcha.
the.
That's a gotcha question.
I don't even know how many matches I've had at IWC, but I can tell you that I'm a 3-time women's champion at IWC. So I've definitely got several upper hands. So I want to at least say at least 10 or more. At least.
Okay.
So.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find out.
It's probably- yeah,
Cage match is a wonderful thing. You gotta see if
Cage
I can
match.
figure it out.
We're gonna find out how closely Cage Match has been following your career.
Yes,
God.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
This is
no.
where Katie learns about herself.
Oh my.
Turns out. So
Actually.
yes. Mason, do you have another question?
Hit me.
Okay. Okay. What company you want to be? I forget. What company?
Was it which
got
company
it.
does she want to work for? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were asking before. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would love to be a part of any company, if I'm going to be completely honest, at least a signed company where there's more exposure, more networking. But I have to be completely honest, with different creative ideas and, you know, having more power over myself, I would be leaning more towards AEW or even Impact, because, you know, the WWE is amazing. All these places are amazing. But if I'm going to have somewhere where I can really strive as myself and put myself in a position that I know I'm going to grow, and then just focus on my name overall, it would probably be AEW or Impact.
I say both of those places, they've definitely been the best for women's wrestling, it feels.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
That's
I
definitely
mean,
the
overall, you know,
Yeah.
as a company. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we can't really slouch on NXT as far as their women's division, but but also that's still part of that bigger machine where it's like,
Right. I definitely
So.
think the women's division is bigger or stronger rather in those two companies versus, you know, WWE or NXT. But they are bringing more and more women up through NXT, like Mercedes Martinez, Dakota. Like, they have a lot of good female athletes there that are just going to strive whenever they get to the main roster. So, and I know that they've gone a long way with a women's Money in the Bank, the women's title, not just one, but for Raw and SmackDown. So I definitely think they've come a long way. I think there's just still so much more. You could always be better in any place.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, I have
That
an
was a
update.
good question.
We do have a Katie.
I have an update.
Okay.
Yes,
What is
Good
it?
job, Mason.
Our live research is going on up in
Yeah.
Beacon, New York.
I
Let's
wanna-
take it to the
I'm
offices in
Mason's
Beacon.
back, you know, to make sure he gets his facts straight.
Yes.
That's right.
So, according to Cage Match, as of June 12th, you are 23 wins and 16 losses.
That's pretty nice. That's
okay.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad. That's not bad. What was the first match? Was that 2016, 17? 17?
February 2017 for the women's title against Britt Baker in Rural Valley.
I need to tell you something, but Bipper's in AEW. She's AEW World Championship, Women's World Championship. Do you know that?
I do.
I
I do know that.
Okay.
But I appreciate like the reminder. I mean, I didn't know if she's wrestling tonight. There could be a change. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. They Mason's checking in on it. Thank you.
I mean, if AEW is looking for someone who can beat Dr. Baker, I mean, I know somebody.
Yeah. You've had her number a couple of times over there. So
She did, but to be fair, the girl did help me out at the last IWC show, so I appreciate the assist. But hey, let's get back to where we normally are, girl. We're better as frenemies, so I would love to take you on in your own environment. I took over IWC when you were there. I'll take over AEW while you're there now.
There you go. Professional interviewer Mason, do you have any more questions?
Okay, I got one more question.
Okay,
One last
one
question.
more.
This is the big question, right?
Here we go.
Okay, what's your dream match?
My dream match. That's my favorite question to be asked.
On every podcast,
On
right?
every podcast. I've been saying, a dream match, like anybody, I would probably say Lita.
Ooh.
I love Lita. She, whenever I started watching wrestling with my sister, it was around the Attitude Era and like Trish and Lita and everything. And I just felt more drawn to Lita than I did Trish versus everybody else. And Lita just has this persona and presence about herself where she is just one badass woman. Like she is just fantastic. And she just doesn't give a whatever. She's awesome. So I would love to have a match with her. I don't care if she's retired or living her life. I want a match.
And she came up in that, it was that mid diva-ish, like of course there's a bright spot there where you had Jazz and Trish and all them, but there was still a lot of a lot of the girls looked like Trish, right?
Yep.
And she really stuck out, and of course Hardy's and everything too. Okay. So
it's probably where my middle school outfits came into play. Hot Topic all the time.
A lot of Hot Topic,
Oh,
baggy. Did you do the showing the thong thing or anything?
I couldn't do that. I couldn't get away with that. Plus, I was like, I don't know if I should do that.
You're not going to school with that. I'd imagine.
No, I couldn't do that.
Did you do the cut up stockings on the hands?
I did one time. I think it was for Valentine's Day. I wore all black and a little bit of red, and I went into school thinking yeah, love me.
Oh boy.
But yes, dream match, Lita, 100%.
Okay, one more question.
Oh, he's
Okay,
got another
one
one.
more.
Oh,
wow.
we can't stop him
No,
now.
he's on a roll now.
I guess it's the Mason Mayhem show now.
Let's do it. What is it? What's the question?
Okay, what title shot are you coming for?
What title shot are you coming for? Is that right?
Yep.
What title shot? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I know you. You've been showing up in a lot of different companies I've seen.
Yeah, I mean.
So there's a lot out there.
I mean, definitely. I mean, that's a loaded question. That could be anywhere. I mean, I'm definitely trying to expand my horizons more and get out there more. But I mean, I think the most realistic one, if I could, it would be to maybe go after Deonna Purrazzo as the Knockouts champion. I mean, she's definitely up there in one of my matches that I would love to have.
And I know she's been through here. I can't remember if you had a match with her previous or not.
I have not.
No.
No. I was in a 4-way with, it was her, Britt, and Ray Lynn, and it was IWC 2017.
Okay.
So we had very little interaction though. And that was before she became the badass that she is now, you know, like she definitely grew into herself. So I would love to, you know, get a handle on that now and definitely stretch out my arms.
Against her face. Is that what you were meant to say? Okay.
No, I want to stretch my arms so whenever she goes for her arm bar, I'm like, I don't need to tap yet. I'm good to where I am.
Yes. So awesome. So Mason, are there any more surprise questions? First of all, before I go on.
Nope.
Nope, you're good. You're good.
Well, thank you.
Hey,
I
let's give it up for Mason here, because I mean, I think that's our future. Thank you.
Beautiful.
But I don't know where to go from there. I was expecting Mason to have another question.
Let me ask you a quick question. I got a loaded question.
Okay.
It might be worse than Mason's, but I'll give it a shot.
Oh no.
What?
Oh,
if it's a
boy,
number
here we
thing,
go.
we're gonna have
Run
to.
I'm not going to ask you what your record is. But as far as the pandemic's concerned, did it make you better or did it make you worse as a performer?
It definitely made me better because it definitely pushed me to get to where I need to be without having the constant repetition every week and every weekend. So it definitely gave me more opportunities to go down and train and do more of what I want to try in the ring. And whenever I was presented the opportunity, I think it went a long way for sure. Plus it forced me to really like work out physically at home and really put myself in a different position, use, triggering muscle I don't always do. So it definitely changed me physically and then in a mental state where, you know what, whenever I got back in the ring, like sometimes they say you become parallel and you have to like take a break with any situation. And I think it was a blessing in disguise because I feel like I was on a good roll, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be. So with the break, I think it pushed me mentally and physically. So when I got back in the ring, I was like, wow, I feel like I didn't miss a beat, but more so skipped beats because I feel like I'm in a better place than I would have if things would have just continued the way that they did.
It felt go ahead.
Do you think that same thing is true for other wrestlers? Or to put it another way, do you think the layoff kind of separated, I don't know, like one class of professional wrestlers and another class of professional wrestlers, the ones who got better and the ones who maybe stayed the same?
I mean, I definitely think it forced people to realize what they really wanted and how they were going to come out after all this. So like for me, I think there's definitely people like me where they're like, okay, this is a break, but I'm going to push myself during this break and come back even stronger. And I think that definitely showed a lot of strengths and weaknesses for people that didn't and didn't take advantage of the opportunity to, focus on themselves rather than just the matches. Because it's not just about the matches. It's not about the moves. It's not about that. It's about the fans. And it's just about, perfecting your overall self. So I definitely think it showed who your real friends are, if you really want to create, perfect this craft or just take advantage of it because you think you're fine where you are. You can always be better. So if you're not trying, if you're not bruised, if you're not feeling pain, then did you really do anything?
Wow.
Cut.
Save that clip.
That's the one going on
great.
TikTok. Thank you so much, Katie, for hanging out with us here. And of course, as I said, you can see your matches on the recent editions of Prospect Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
And real quick, where can people check you out in the near future here?
Yes, go find me on all the social medias. You can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Katie Arquette. Go to Instagram, the Katie Arquette, and Twitter, the KT Arquette, because I can't add 3 more letters into the Twitter name. So definitely share, retweet, and comment on all of my stuff. I'll definitely look for them.
There you go. Any up listings where we'll be showing up from there, right? So
yeah, definitely see where I'm headed to next.
there you go. Well, it's been awesome to see you grow over the last couple of years. I know I haven't been able to see it, film you for a little bit here, and chat with you for a bit with everything going on. But it's good to have you back in the studio.
Thank you always.
So we're going to give a shout out here, and we're going to hang out for a minute more, some fun after the break. But first of all, we are going to get shout out because the pizza party's happening, guys.
Whoop-whoop.
Our good friends, provided by Slice on Broadway. That's why we're so happy and energetic, and Mason has all those great questions because he's fueled by pepperoni right now. All right. How's that?
Yes.
Hold on, Mason. How is that pizza?
Tasty.
There you go. There you go. That is an official sponsorship right there. So our good friends, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hill, Slice on Broadway. I know there's a lot of people listening on the West Coast, sweating out there on the West Coast, but please cool down with some hot pizza.
Wait, what?
Wherever you can, please support your local pizza shop, even if you're not in Pittsburgh, to support our friends at Slice on Broadway. But if you're in Pittsburgh, definitely check out our good friends at Slice. They've been supporting us for a good 10 years of this podcast, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with a perfect pepperoni pizza. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after this with an update to the Forbidden Door Crazy Wall.
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for referee.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
We are here, and we were just marveling here off air about Mason is just like podcast wrestling interview ready. at this point.
He's got that newsman's blood in him.
That newsman's blood. He gets it from daddy.
He's a second generation interviewer superstar.
That's right. That's right.
He's got a great role model.
Yeah.
In you.
In me.
I was gonna say in Britt Baker.
Yeah. Didn't learn a damn thing from me. That's for sure. But from you, we've got many pictures of you peeking over your shoulder at like streaming events, things that you've been doing. You know, going back to like Chachi plays. You know, and him just like leering over your shoulder.
Oh,
You're
yeah?
pushing buttons. Him just, what's going on here? I mean, it's amazing. He's been interested in what you're doing for a long time.
That's just because he can never visit you at the studio every day.
Well,
like
that's
he'd run
true.
into me, right?
Bro, and because like the streaming world is so much more accessible. Like he
That's
sees
true.
people his own age on YouTube every day.
That's true too.
They're billionaires. So
They're
he's
billionaires.
Like, anybody can do that.
Yes, billionaires his age.
He's like, I can come out with a toy line. I can be whoever this kid is.
I can open a box on camera.
I can invent a monster burger. I just there he is. Now he's in the research department. Mason over there. Mainstream Matt there joining us. Bringing us our young whippersnappers. Mad Mike up in Beacon, New York, of course, in the other research department. Rob, whose life was threatened this weekend by a Bosnian.
With a chair.
With a chair.
If I had a nickel for every time,
You're threatened by
Bosnian special forces. I mean, you wouldn't believe this area is just rotten.
Yeah, you have no idea.
With them.
You have
At
no
least
idea.
35 cents.
Yeah, at
35
least I would.
cents.
Yeah.
And of course, the special guest Katie Arquette is joining us after a rousing interview.
It was a great interview. Great question.
So we are revealing something, an updated something this episode. Let me see if I can cue it up over here. But this is something I think we usually do on Mondays, right, Matt?
Yes.
Like lately we've been updating this. We had so much to talk about last night we didn't get to it. So I figure this is the time on the main show because Matt, for those that are uninitiated and especially for those on audio that don't have the visual here that we'll put on Twitter, what are we about to look at here?
Right. So I'm not sure. This probably isn't a true story, but I've made up this story now. You tricked me a couple months ago.
You worked yourself into a shoot.
I worked myself into a shoot. I said, you know what's funny, Sorg? You know, we've had like 2 or 3 people pass through this forbidden door. You know, this is kind of funny. We should make it like a conspiracy wall, like in a Hollywood movie, and then we can track, these people and show them. It'll be so funny, with 3 or 4 different pictures on there. Well, fast forward a few months. And now look at this.
Oh my gosh.
We really need different color string on this thing.
Now, Katie, at first glance, this may appear confusing, but trust me, it's all going to make sense in the end.
At every glance, it's going to look confusing.
I mean, I'm definitely.
All right, so we figured if we tied enough strings and we used enough push pins, we could track the true nexus of the Forbidden Door phenomenon in professional wrestling. So we've got some new additions. We'll just run through the new additions.
Okay. All right.
And Mad Mike will be very happy to see that Andrade El Idolo is on the crazy wall now.
Where the hell is he? Oh, wait, here.
He's up here in the upper left.
Right next to Mox.
And you can see the string is tied to AEW now because he showed up there, and the string is tied to AAA.
over here.
Now,
okay.
Now, I was on my high horse for a while saying that if they didn't have an actual match in an organization, I wasn't going to attach them to it. But Andrade forced me to break that rule.
Oh.
So once I've had to break that rule,
Andrade forces people to break many
breaking all my rules, happily I might add. And now I've had to draw AAA strings to Kenny Omega, and now I had to put Rey Fenix on the board, and I forgot to put Penta on there. Penta will be on there next time with Rey. So I could tie the string to AAA and then tie them to AEW. Moving on.
Okay.
Let's see. Since the last time we were here, Josh Alexander is now on the crazy wall because the Impact X Division champion had the nerve to show up on an episode of New Japan Strong.
I love when you're just like the nerve to.
And ruined my day. I saw him. I was like, yes, Josh Alexander's in New Japan. I'm like, oh no, the crazy wall. This is literally what my thought process is like. So now he's on the wall too. I'll just point out Danny Limelight because it's always good to point out Danny Limelight. Okay, so Joe Keys. This is interesting, Sorg. Joe Keys is a Ring of Honor guy.
Yeah.
All right. He showed up in AEW on Dark, I think last week.
Yeah, he did.
And maybe this week too. I'm not 100% on that. That's a very unusual Forbidden Door passage. You'll see if you follow the Ring of Honor strings, you won't see any other strings that go to AEW.
Yeah.
Joe Keys is the only one who has passed through that door. That's weird.
He's opened a new door.
He opened a new door. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Where else are we? Okay, we got a couple new.
And I'm familiar with Joe Keys. He's worked locally with the former Fight Society and up at Revenge Pro. Definitely one to look out for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He looks like a giant hangman. So yeah.
I think he might be shorter than a hangman.
He might be, but he's definitely wider.
Okay.
Anyway, bottom right, you got a couple of these guys who popped up in MLW, and they're AAA guys too, Aramis and Aries. So they've got those guys. We've got some fresh faces in the cluster of the Ring of Honor New Japan cluster down there with Chris Dickinson and Brody King and Bateman. Now there's Fred Yehai, and he popped up in New Japan, and he's been in Ring of Honor. And Wheeler Yuta, now at the very rare triple string. I think the only other guys on this wall who have triple strings is TJP and Rocky Romero.
And Kenny Omega.
Wheeler Yuta, good one, yes. Kenny Omega too. And Wheeler Yuta has now shown up in ROH and New Japan, and he was on Dark Elevation last night wrestling Carl Anderson, of all things. So as you can see, Lois is the key.
What?
So that's all.
Wait,
that's the forbidden. In summary, Lois is the key.
Lois?
Nah, I think you're too soon on that one.
Dang it.
Lois?
Am I too soon? All right, I'll go back.
All right.
I'm telling you,
right.
Sorg, the people who got that joke are on the floor laughing right now.
I just got the joke.
Just
It took me a minute.
If anyone named Martha gets put on the board, the
We're
board
done.
will implode.
We're done. We're done if the Martha gets on the board.
So what was the origin of all of this?
Of the Forbidden Door in general?
Yeah.
Tony
Like,
Khan.
who was the first?
Who was the first? That was the Good Brothers showing up, wasn't it?
Or was it Kenta?
Kenta. That was the first.
Was it Kenta
Door.
or was it the Good Brothers?
I'm
think it
pretty
was Kenta.
sure it was Kenta.
Yeah.
Because all I remember is that when Kenta showed up, I almost fell off my couch. I couldn't believe what was happening. Now it's just a regular. Now Satoshi Kojima shows up on Impact. I'm like, just another day.
I think the Good Brothers were
Just
already.
another day.
I think they had already kicked in the door.
Did they?
Well, technically, wouldn't it have been Don Callis? Would he technically have been the first one?
I'm not putting Don Callis on this one.
No, but I'm just saying, like he was the one who like unlocked the door.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
know what
really
I mean?
Kenny
Like,
who
him
unlocked the
showing
door
up
too,
to
right?
manage Kenny.
So.
Kind of
Well,
jump
even before this, Kenny was walking around with the AAA title.
Well, even before
So-
even
before
before all
AEW
the stuff
started,
with
though, we
Kenny,
had that.
Moxley was showing up in New Japan.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So, they just kind of closed the loop. Wait, he's still got the belt, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like he did a defense with Kenta, and I don't think they've done anything since.
It's in the closet in the baby's room.
You need some color-coded strings so we can follow this map of yours.
I mean, he's got.
Well, I mean, they're red strings. That's classic Hollywood conspiracy board.
I guess
motif.
so, yeah.
But
You
string
should
comes,
try and
it
texture
comes in
the
more than one
strings a little
color,
bit.
though, man.
You know, I think the original idea.
I'll try different colored strings next
The
week.
original idea I pitched.
I'm not doing this every week, by the way. I'm
No,
not that
no,
crazy.
no,
Like every month and a half. We're updating this
something
thing.
needs to trigger it, right?
Yeah.
So like, oh, hey,
Well, I have a feeling.
Kojima triggered me. That's what happened.
and I have a feeling Azteca Underground is going to trigger a lot of forbidden portals.
I'm not putting a Lucha Underground card on this board and like tracing all the
if
Lucha Undergrounds
if
back.
Marty the Moth shows up, you have to.
I'm not going to do that.
You should.
Marty. Yeah,
All right,
Marty's
we'll go
over
with
on
that.
AEW.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, what have we
and,
done?
You know.
Mm-hmm. Matt, you
Yeah.
can't deny the Moth.
I won't deny the Moth.
You
Yes.
can't deny the Moth.
I'm so happy for him. I'm not talking about Major League Wrestling and how much I enjoy it.
No, tell us about me. Have you done
I
that on
love
this
it.
show?
It's stupid.
Why should I
love
watch Major League Wrestling? You got
'Cause
other.
it's-
You got people on the Discord watching it.
What? Yeah. It's so dumb, but it's great. I love it. It's just so. I just love. I love the way they produce the show to do everything possible to convince you it's not being like recorded in some empty basketball arena in the backwoods of Orlando. I love it. I love the way they produce it. I love Court Bauer's hustle. How he pushes out like a new email news release like every day, trickling out like 2 names for the Battle Riot, just nonstop, just goofy. What's going on, son?
I
I see you're chugging my Mountain Dew. That's not a good idea.
That's not a good idea at 10 o'clock at night.
You know what he needs at 10 o'clock. On
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Way to go.
This is good.
Good
This
job.
is good. This podcast has failed at parenting yet once again. So
But you know what? The rest of us just get to walk away from it.
that's right.
Yes.
You have
He
fun
goes
with that,
home with
man.
Yeah, I
you.
know exactly.
He goes home with
Getting
you.
my kid all wound up. He'll be
Yep.
asleep in the car. But I feel like
as an uncle, I'm the one that gets.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'll get up. My nephew's all razzed up.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's all right. That's all right.
And then
Well, you dropped right into it, so we didn't go over mic positioning.
Yeah.
So
this was set for somebody much.
well, all you have to
Shorter.
do is all you have to do is show him a women's match because he can't. This because it's not to say about women's matches, but that's always when he passes out when we're over for a pay-per-view.
it's more the timing of the match.
It's the timing. It's the timing, not the match. Unfortunately,
Remember when we
We're
were
talking
watching
about
the
WWE.
pay-per-views and we would take bets on whether he'd fall asleep during Undertaker's entrance.
That was also a thing.
like it's a
Yeah,
long
yeah,
entrance.
yeah.
What about Randy Orton's entrance? That's a long
I
entrance.
think
He
we
could
all
pass
fall
out.
asleep during Taker's entrances now.
Yeah, and then they ring the bell and you're like, I'm up,
recent
I'm
ones,
up,
yeah.
I'm up.
And it didn't matter what the match was, how good it was. It just that's the point where he was done.
He's
Yeah.
Right?
done.
It was just like it's like why is it always the women's match?
When you're a kid, you will go for as long as you possibly can
Yes.
until your body quits on you, and that's basically what.
I
he
think
does.
that has more to do with the storytelling that was probably going into that match, and that's the company's fault.
Well.
WWE, stop putting women, stop putting Mason to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, WWE, come up with better stuff. Come on, engage the young children.
No,
That's where the future is.
no comment on the definitely the talent of those involved on those pay-per-views.
Can I just say
Absolutely
one more
does.
thing about MLW?
Yes,
It-
please.
it is not.
Now we can't
I
stop
don't
him.
want to say that it has filled the void left in my heart by Lucha Underground. I
Okay.
will not say that.
Okay.
But it has filled a fraction of the void in my heart left by Lucha Underground.
Okay.
Because
Matt.
it's got Wacky Contra Unit.
Yes.
Dario Cueto has shown up under a new name.
Yes.
And
Oh,
under a new
okay.
alias.
Yes.
Wait,
Mil
hold on. hold
Damn
on.
Muertes is
You didn't explain this to me. What's his new alias?
Cesar Duran is his new alias.
Oh.
They retconned it, Mike. They did the work on this. And I can go back and look it up, and I'll just say that, like, look,
you had the hype from the feds, right?
the retcon is that Dario Cueto was never his real name, and he's always been using a fake name to stay ahead of the feds, ahead of the fuzz.
Okay.
So
What about Antonio Cueto?
there's been no mention of him yet. I'm hoping there won't be.
Yeah, that was a weird. That was a weird part of that season.
Do you remember when they started to
do you
tease
remember how
Mil
that ended?
Muertes? And I like texted you that night. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Sorg. Like,
And they have like
Do you remember how that ended?
what the MLW part?
Aerostar went back in time to bring Dario back to life.
Oh jeez.
and now he's in MLW.
Yeah, like, and Wade Barrett was the main man inside the limo.
Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
I don't think they're getting Barrett.
No.
I don't
he's
think
busy.
so, but-
He's busy. He's
God,
never
I'd
know.
love to see that.
He's busy. I don't know.
Like if you wanted to fully reintegrate Lucha Underground,
What-
I'm afraid I've got
when
some
is
bad
MLW?
news.
When is MLW coming on Vice?
I think it's already on Vice. I think they're running like back catalog
Really?
stuff on Vice right
Okay.
now. They're occupying a slot on the weekends right
The
now.
last I looked, at least on Hulu, when it shows, whatever the ones they are on demand, it was showing like 2 episodes or something. This was
Yeah.
like a couple weeks ago.
And they've been
so-
kind of like this is the other thing too. Like they ran out of new content weeks ago, Sorg.
Yeah, because I
But-
remember, was it Mike or Chachi went to go watch an MLW and like, why am I watching Sabu and
They
Terry
were running
Funk?
because they run these. Yeah, they run these underground shows from like 15 years ago. But that's okay though because this is the thing they do. They're just like, you know what, we're gonna.
Because
they
who was
made up-
awesome 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Terry
Let's
Funk,
remind
right?
you of this.
Yeah.
So they conjure up the MLW Open Draft. Sorg, you think the WWE draft is some lying ass bullshit?
Okay.
MLW's Open Draft is a complete con. There's no one's getting drafted. They're just announcing names. And they're announcing new signings. I mean, it's worth watching. It's just like 7 minutes every week with a toot.
They just telling you their roster.
They're just telling you their roster.
Yeah.
But they trickle it out. This is the magic of MLW. We're not going to give you. There will be no info dump. We're trickling this out in like tiny increments. So every week you get a few new names until finally they portion this out just enough for them to finally get back to Battle Riot 3.
Battle Riot 3.
Battle Riot 3.
So, which leads us into
Battlestar Galactica.
Bears beats.
Discuss.
Bears beats.
We've actually
Battlestar
all
Galactica.
been Skywalkers. You're welcome.
Yes, it's all come around. So we kind of forgot about our homework assignments for a while there, didn't we?
Someone had to go and do other work or something to do. I don't know.
I gotta.
We never got to
do.
talk about the No Moss match.
I gotta pay the bills, man. That's how we have all this nice equipment around here for this podcast. So, but yeah. So, but you proposed the bringing back of the homework assignments in a very timely manner.
I think the timing of this will work out just right.
Mm-hmm.
We can review this match next week, and then we can look forward to Battle Riot 3 coming up on July 10th.
Okay.
So for this week, for our homework for this week leading into next week, I propose that we review Battle Riot 1 from 2018.
Okay.
Tony Schiavone's on the call. You're in
No,
good hands.
really?
Yeah.
Great.
That's when he was just kind of coming back into doing things.
He was like, I just wanted to let you guys know I can still do this. Just letting you know. But yeah. So Tony Schiavone is on the call. You'll see some familiar names. You'll see some names you've never heard. But it's fun. It's 40 men. All right. It is the spiritual successor to Aztec Warfare, because eliminations are pinfall, submission in the ring, or you toss them over the top rope. So, just like Aztec Warfare. And it's got a song that my son will not stop humming to himself.
No,
theme song.
Is that what he's doing right now?
The Battle Riot theme song. That's what he's humming right now, yeah.
I'm looking on YouTube. Is this the one that's sponsored by GoDaddy or the one that's not?
Let's check
Which
the Slack.
is it?
I think you want the one that's not.
Okay.
Okay,
so we're not going full Candace Michelle.
No,
If you hear the voice of Jim Cornette, you've gone too far.
Ooh, well, I mean, that's
He's
just a
on the-
general. That's
he's
just
on
a
the
rule
call
of
for-
thumb.
That's usually how it
Like-
is. If you hear the voice of Jim Cornette, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette is on the call for Battle Riot 2.
Okay.
So that's why we're reviewing Battle Riot 1.
Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate that.
Just to clear that one up. But it'll be fun, and then we'll come together next week, and I'll be back. I promise you I'll come back.
Speaking of Lucha Underground.
And I will I'll run through these 40 names for you guys, and we can all be like, oh, look at this guy.
Speaking of Lucha Underground, Sorg, are we talking? Do you guys have NXT on there?
We did.
We have a new champion.
What? Wait.
New North American champion, yeah.
New North American
No
champion.
way.
Yep.
Isaiah Swerve Scott.
Ooh.
Is that why you were tapping me on the shoulder, Mason? Oh, thanks, buddy.
He's like, look,
Look at that. He's a newshound,
You're
man.
champ right there. You're
He's like, look, hey, Dad,
missing
look, Dad, look,
Dad,
hey, Dad, look at
Dad, right there,
Dad,
look,
me,
look,
Dad,
look,
Dad,
right
Dad,
there.
Not now,
Look up,
kid. Not
look
now,
up,
kid.
right there.
Dad, look, the building's on fire. Not now, kid. Not now, kid.
But yeah,
Wow.
Lucha Underground boy doing good. Love it. Love to see it.
Love to see that. And I believe it, and I think he's one that's come around this area too. If I'm not
That's one of
mistaken.
the first indie shows I ever went to. I saw Swerve Scott versus ACH, and they were awesome.
That was a super indie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were awesome. I never forgot it, obviously, because I'm here talking about it again. But
How many years later, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for MLW. I'm not finding it. Is it under
I
Major
found it
League?
on YouTube.
I put
so-
it in the Slack for you, sort of.
No, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it on the Vice app.
Okay.
Oh no, I tried searching for it on Hulu. That's not a good suggestion.
No.
Nope. Weird
Nope.
things came up when I just typed in MLW into Hulu.
Okay.
Oh.
I didn't think weird things came up on Hulu, but apparently weird things come up
How
on Hulu.
weird. Is
What
it?
are you searching on Hulu?
Is it like the? Is
I,
this? Is
no,
this,
I just typed in MLW. That's all I did, and it gave me like an episode of something called Masturbation Segment.
Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
Mike.
like, I
What
don't
Does
know what that
MLW
means.
stand for something else?
Does it stand for something dirty? Do I not know? Chat room, help us out.
Or do
I
we
don't
need
know.
Do
It
we
was
need the
very
Urban
weird.
Dictionary
I
of
was
this
like,
thing?
hey,
Mike,
maybe
you're the
I'll
one
just
with it up
check
on your
Crap.
screen right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Read it.
Just
read
ask
it.
Wikipedia. They
Mike,
have
are you
very
on a work
valuable
laptop?
Information.
Yeah.
You just throw,
Well, I mean, it was
throw it
on
in
Hulu,
Google, and
so it's
nothing,
fine. It was
nothing
on Hulu,
bad
so
could
it's okay.
possibly happen.
No.
I
no.
didn't click anything further.
Yeah,
Probably for the
you're gonna
best.
get the weirdest ads.
This is like the time where I was searching through Amazon Prime and accidentally found myself on a Power Rangers softcore porn parody.
Sure.
On
Accidentally.
Amazon Prime. I'm like, well, this can't be.
Sorg,
on,
Sorg,
this
was
has
it
got to
called
be
Ay,
safe,
Ay, Ay,
right?
Ay?
I'm on Amazon. They wouldn't put stuff like this on here.
You were wrong.
Amazon Prime may as well be like Napster, where you can put anything up with
It
a wrong
kind of is.
wrong name, and it'll be it'll be something completely
Have you
different.
looked up wrestling stuff on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
No.
It gets weird. There's a lot of weird stuff on there. Hold on a second.
Jeez.
Like it's not.
Nothing is safe anymore.
No,
you can't
no,
just
it's not.
search for anything on any
I mean,
platform.
aside from the weird stuff, it'll have like odd like compilations from like those DVD sets you could have bought like 20 years ago from the best
Yeah.
of Stone Cold, like his 3 matches in World Class or something,
Yeah.
and but like stuff like that. But I know what you mean though, where there's some odd stuff.
There's some interesting. There's some documentaries and such. Like there's a documentary about. I think it was about Mia Yim and Marty Bell, and it looked like it was shot around an AIW show.
Yeah.
It was like a half-hour thing. So hey, the wrestlers
Was,
on Prime.
was
by
it called
way.
The Dollhouse?
No, it was not called the Dollhouse, Mike. It was not.
What? I'm sorry, Impact.
So okay, this is mostly okay. Okay, this is a little tamer than it used to be.
That's
Because
too
I'm
bad.
actually getting fighting with my family. I'm getting the DDP documentary. I'm getting the wrestler card subject to change.
Now it doesn't have the original wrestler like the Verne Gagne one?
Guys, you know what's on here that we've talked about on the show? Remember my weird Walmart DVDs of WEW?
Uh-oh.
Although this isn't on Prime, you have to purchase this, but they do have women's extreme wrestling brawls.
Have you
on
seen that
here.
at all, Katie?
Sword.
No.
It is
How
the
many,
worst
how
of
many
women's
DVDs
wrestling.
are
It
left?
is.
Do we
It's
have to
pretty
buy
bad.
them and then do a stream?
It's just the
No,
pervious,
we're not.
gross
I'm not.
What is it?
I'm not putting
WEW?
So the high point. Here we go. I know. We've done this on the show before.
Sorg,
but we
I
haven't
want to
explained-
remind you, my 11-year-old son is here. The Danhausen rules are in effect.
Okay, got that.
You
No
gotta
swearing.
dig. You gotta
No
dig quite a ways to
swearing.
find the high point of
Okay.
WCW.
Housing
No
rules are in
swearing.
effect. So WW, they were definitely filming out of the ECW arena. I got this collection of DVDs. The high point on it was being introduced to Alexis Lurie, the later Mickey James, of course. Other than that, apparently this promotion, they would have the PWO. The P stands for.
Right.
Okay, I'll just leave that for you. So there was that. So apparently what I had were the cleansed versions of the shows.
Cleansed version.
Yes, it was
Okay.
like it was the wrestling, and there was some bad backstage segments, and there was like, okay, we have some actually wrestling, but then we also have one oh god, the worst thing was for whatever reason they had what they called was a cripple fight. And
Oh
there's
boy.
two guys that I don't know if they actually were or were playing handicapped had a wrestling match. It was just horrible.
I don't think they would be so tasteful as to have real handicapped people.
There's that too. There's that too. It worked really well in Philadelphia back in like 2005, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, so when South Park was doing it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, actually, that's probably what it was about.
Yeah.
But you'd find out later, as we were looking more at this company. I'm looking up the website that's all over the DVD that I got at Walmart, and it's one of those like 10-disc double-sided, kind of deals where you get all the bad like old horror movies on.
And it costs you like
that.
$11.
Yeah, it costs like $10. That was it.
Yeah.
I have like 2 volumes of this
Yeah.
thing. And we're just
35
like,
cents per match.
wrestling, lots of wrestling. Let's check this out.
What could go wrong?
But if you looked at the pay-per-views, they were definitely a little more explicit,
Oh.
and I don't think the wrestling was the appeal.
Oh.
So yeah, so that's and
Interesting.
apparently it's on Amazon. This
And-
might actually be wrestling.
And I forget, was that one where you could tell by watching it like who was the money guy? That,
Oh, yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
wow, all the women seem to be rubbing up on this one dude. You know?
Yeah,
I wonder who's
yeah.
paying. I wonder
Oh
who's
my
paying for these
gosh.
shows. You know?
But there are a lot of like kind of random, like there's a Price of Fame, which looks like it's a documentary about Ted DiBiase Jr. that's on here. It's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, this is a lot less weird than it used to be. But you can't. The Iron Sheik movie is on here.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's
It's probably got Resurrection of Jake the Snake. Too.
got Resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts, of course. Also, that's worth seeing actually.
Oh, and the Magnum CK documentaries are up there.
Oh yeah, the Marking Out and Magnum's Opus.
Yeah, when we have a lot of material in Magnum's
Hey,
Opus.
hey, Sword.
Yeah, oh yeah. We did provide a little bit for that, didn't we?
And I think wasn't the PWX one up there too?
Yeah, there's a documentary. It was
forget
like
what it was called, but-
Scarlet and hold on, I'll see if I can find it.
Because I watched it about a year ago because I hadn't heard of it until we did like the Fight Underground stuff.
Yeah, because we worked with the guy that worked on it, right?
I just saw a memory card.
God, I can't
fall out
remember
of
the name.
something.
Yeah, I did too.
A memory card fell out of something?
Something fell out of something.
Like the camera
and
that's
I thought it
pointed
was
at
just
me.
me, but
Yeah.
I'm like, no, someone
Wait,
else
was that
saw
something
it.
important? I thought it was a
I
piece of
don't
paper.
know.
Sorg.
We'll just investigate that.
Is that a
later.
cable? We got a loose cable?
Are
No,
we
no.
still live?
No, yeah, we're still good. We're still good.
It looked like a memory
Don't
card.
worry
just
about
fell
it.
Straight down. or
Don't
something.
worry about it.
It's
It's fine.
It'll buff out.
It's
fine.
fine.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Sorg, would you like to play a quick game?
Hmm.
So I went to Amazon and I
Mhm.
just typed in WEW just to see what came up.
Ooh.
This could get dangerous.
I would like guesses from everyone. How much a DVD set of volumes 21 through 24 of WEW costs?
Now, is this a? I can't imagine it's anything they're actually selling on their own. It's got to be another seller. It's probably
it's definitely
way
it's
too
definitely
much.
another seller.
It's
I
probably
do-
like
the
$300
entire
or something.
The entire catalog, I believe, got sold basically to a porn company.
Yeah.
So, from my understanding,
But I'm gonna say it's in the hundreds, like 300.
No, I'm saying $5.
Okay, Sorg says $5.
$5.
Rob?
It's a 10-disc set. Yes.
It just says 4 volumes. It doesn't say how many discs.
Oh,
I think it's something ridiculous.
I don't know. Now at first I thought it was ridiculous, but I wasn't expecting Sorg to say $5. So now I'm gonna say $250. It's like $250.
Okay, Rob.
I mean that's kind of what I was going for. Maybe like about 300, without looking.
Okay, so used, you can buy this set for $30.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Damn.
okay. So it's still
Mhm.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
New,
Ooh.
Oh gosh.
$335.30.
That happens though.
How
Oh,
did
why?
I
Why?
like?
I want to know how aggressively it was used.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. So this happens when things are out of print though on Amazon.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it
Video
happens.
games and
Like I
everything,
follow
so-
a lot of comic stuff, and it's kind of the same
Yeah,
way
yeah.
too with like omnibuses and.
By the way,
things.
the one about that has like Scarlett and a bunch of other locals on it. Like I think you see a young Leah Moriarty in this
Aw.
yeah,
video.
he's like one of the trainers or something.
Go
too.
big or go home. It is no longer. Well, wait. It says subscribe here.
Volumes 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Only one copy of it sells for $1,065.75.
That's some algorithm
It
stuff there.
only-
That's not.
It
no.
only sells for that much if it sells for that much.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it sells for that much.
Yeah, it's. I'd like to. I'd conduct an eBay search first just to see.
I just think it's wild. I mean, you
Yeah.
could probably go on like
God,
other
That is pretty
avenues and just find
crazy.
it for free.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just looking at Amazon Prime now, and like this stuff isn't on Prime. This is stuff you have to purchase. But you got Pro Wrestling Syndicate from 2007, Pro Wrestling Eve. Let's see, Pro Wrestling Syndicate. The David Arquette documentary,
Yeah.
of course.
Gosh.
Hello. So,
It's a very good
it's
documentary.
very good.
It's
Yes.
so good.
Revolution Pro Wrestling. Wasn't that Corgan's promotion before he went NWA?
I think so. Yeah.
Might have been.
DOA XPW season 1 is a part of this.
Ooh.
You can get over there. That mic is only $19.99 for the entire season, by the way, if you want to
Shit.
compare.
Sword,
Rockstar
again.
Pro Wrestling. Hey, there's a lot of stuff on here. Look at that.
So I just did a search on eBay for recent like WEW DVD set sales. Volume 5 through 8, a 2-disc set, just sold for $20. That's the most
There you
recent.
go.
And then
There
I
you go.
sold.
There
and,
you go.
and then I'm seeing like even the regular listings aren't like anything ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zeke Mercer's in the chat room, so we got to end this.
No.
oh no, Zeke!
I'm surprised he's up past his bedtime.
I know, right? I know.
I swear somebody that short has an earlier bedtime, but it turns
Aw.
out that has
Come on.
it turns out that has nothing to do with it.
No, it's not.
Zeke.
I know, who knew?
Wow.
It
Thanks
has
for showing
nothing-
up in the chat, Zeke.
See what I
Should,
learned?
should we tell Zeke there was someone younger and
something.
cuter than him on this show that was better at interviewing wrestlers?
Don't tell him that. You'll hurt his feelings.
I don't know if
You'll hurt
I
his
don't know if
feelings.
he's cuter than Zeke. He's my son and all. I gotta probably side with him, but Zeke's pretty cute. So.
Chat room, real quick, 1 to 10 cuteness factor of Zeke Mercer, and then we'll end the show. At that point, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
I got something sore.
All right,
come here, son.
Go ahead.
This is half consumer watchdog.
Okay, consumer watchdog.
Come here. You might have noticed during the show that my son is sitting over here wearing an exquisite stand up, Junior.
He's wearing a Biz Clue shirt.
Wearing an exquisite Switchblade T-shirt.
Wow.
Wearing it around in public. Wore it in the get-go tonight, Sword. Got some looks, but that's okay. I got a little trade secret for everybody out there. The pro wrestling T-shirts for cheap that you're looking for, they are at the Hot Topic in the back of the store on the clearance rack. He rounded up 3 T-shirts for the price of 1. I think they cost $6. He got this one. Now he has an Inner Circle T-shirt, and he also has the classic Orange Cassidy shirt with just Orange Cassidy's head on it. So
nice,
it's fantastic. And now he's having a crisis because he can't decide what he's going to wear to AEW now. So figure it out.
That's right. Those those tickets went on sale here for Pittsburgh this last week.
Yeah. We got 2. Well, I want to call it a 2-night stand. I know it's Wednesday and Friday. And that was the first episode of Rampage.
Yes.
That's going to be apparently live, I would
I
imagine.
hope we see Hangman Page versus Christian Cage versus Brian Cage versus All Ego Ethan Page on the episode of Rampage.
Oh my god.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
Diamond Dallas Page is around there too.
He'll be on commentary.
Yeah, he'll be on commentary. Because he's relentless. Guys, what'd you learn from wrestling this week? Otherwise, you had yours.
Thanks.
Was that a joint one,
right,
you and Mason there?
I have a really weird wrestling-related thing. Okay, so you guys have seen all the Jake from State Farm ads on Raw,
right?
Yeah. So the one where the woman gives him a whole lot of like steaks and everything.
Yes.
Every time I see a commercial, I'm like, I swear this woman looks familiar.
Okay.
And it turns out she has a wrestling connection.
No.
Swear to God. Found this out. I did a deep dive because I was like, I need to figure out who this person is or it's going to drive me insane.
She's like the tattooed geeky glasses one, kind of hipster looking one, right?
Not the one that gives you like a jug that's the side of ranch, but gives you
the pizza.
Not her, not that one, but the butcher.
The butcher. She puts all the steak on.
Yeah, she puts like all the steaks on, and then she puts the bacon on top, and that's when Jake from State Farm just shuts up.
Okay, that's the one. I think that's the one I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. She was apparently the love interest of Scott Conn in Ready to Rumble.
No.
Oh no, not Scott Conn. Of David Arquette actually. David Arquette's love interest character that's not Rose McGowan in Ready to Rumble.
Is it? And again, this is not having seen the movie in years, but does he get dumped because he's too into this whole wrestling thing?
No, it's the one he ends up with.
Oh, okay.
It's the geeky girl that is into wrestling, but David Arquette only has eyes for Jimmy King initially. But yeah, it's Wait, is it? I mean, now I need to watch the movie again because now I think she does end up with Scott Conn instead.
Okay.
Like she works at the drive-thru they go to. Like I remember all the character details about. Yeah, it's okay. It's Scott Conn's love interest. Like she ends up. I think her last scene in the movie is she is thrown out of she steps out of their RV wrapped in a WCW blanket after they just assumedly did the deed. Yeah. But yeah, I was like, I knew that person looked familiar, and to have it linked back to Rumble is wild.
That's pretty cool.
I gotta rewatch Ready to Rumble now. Thanks for that. It is not.
You're welcome.
It is not streaming on any provider with subscription right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was on HBO Max because it was Warner Brothers or New Line or something, and that's kind of
makes sense.
The final resting place for a lot of that stuff.
You should just kind of shovel it on there. Oh, do we own this? Yeah, put it on there. I guess.
You know what? Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's probably the only place you'll ever see it in high def.
I hate to inform you, it's not streaming anywhere. It doesn't seem to be.
No, that's according to Just Watch, it's not. And I'm going to check that HBO connection.
Yeah,
so.
let me. I'm
So I'm telling you, sooner or later you're gonna see an AEW crossover over on HBO Max. Maybe they'll get a Dark Elevation or something. So
You know what? I don't see it on HBO.
You don't see it on HBO?
I see an episode of Ben 10 called Ready to Rumble.
What?
Season 4, episode 9.
I wouldn't be surprised if it eventually goes on to Tubi.
Oh, wow, if it's not already there.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of stuff ending up on Pluto these days.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
like,
Yeah, I finally, there's this movie I was looking for online. I used to watch it all the time when it was on HBO. I finally found it on Tubi, and it was wonderful.
What's the movie?
Oh God, it's basically Die Hard in a boarding school.
Toy Soldiers. Is that it?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay, because Toy Soldiers is really great.
Yeah,
like legit great.
It's one of Missy's favorite.
It's called
movies.
Masterminds.
Oh,
It's from,
okay. That's like the kid version of Toy Soldiers.
Yeah, it's
wasn't
from
Patrick Stewart?
1997.
Wasn't Patrick Stewart the villain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
from about 1997.
in between your viewing of Lucha Underground on Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
Look up Masterminds and just give yourself an hour and a half to just enjoy Patrick Stewart for once destroying a school instead of trying to run one.
Also, honorable mention for Patrick Stewart as the bad guy in the TMNT CG movie.
Yes.
So we watched that relatively recently.
Another great Chris Evans superhero.
Yeah, also another great Chris Evans. There's a lot of people in there. Sarah Michelle Gellar, there's a lot of people in that. I learned from wrestling this week that John Cena is the heel that we've always needed. Because I watched Fast 9 this weekend with Chachi. And it was pretty fantastic. Between that and Suicide Squad and Beach Full of Dicks, I'm all aboard the John Cena swear train. So sorry, kids. So actually, even so much, Rob, I have a little something over there.
Yeah.
In solidarity with Fast 9. Because remember, never give up.
I always found this ironic that you would put "never give up" on an item that is commonly associated with giving up.
Yes.
Yeah. Like throw the towel in.
Oh my gosh.
But it says never give up.
Yeah, and that is a
stiff one. Yeah.
It's a stiff towel.
I don't want to know why.
Yeah, I don't.
So
Yeah.
stiff.
Well, or it reminds me of like when you see something like PlayStation 2 graphics.
Yes, and it's just like
your wrestler
nothing
has an
waves.
accessory. Nothing has any weight or any kind of. It just moves. It just it's
honestly,
a solid.
it looks like
an
object you would have pulled in WWF No Mercy and could just wail away on something.
Yeah, like
printing decal was so heavy on that thing, and I'm like, I don't know, like if I used it, would it work it out? I don't know.
And you don't want to wash it.
No, you feel like it's just gonna fall off.
It's like you may as well just like frame it.
You know what? If you're gonna find, that's pretty much it.
You know, the way you usually handle something like that, like when you first get a baseball glove, you just back it over with your car like about a dozen times.
Or you roll it up into a
Yep.
ball and you rubber band it all together.
Yeah.
And,
Katie Arquette, what did you learn from wrestling this week or the show tonight even?
I learned a lot tonight.
About yourself, apparently.
And about myself. I don't have any like cool fun facts though, like you guys had, like specifically for wrestling, even though John Cena's pretty cool, the heel we never knew we needed.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I guess I kind of learned a couple of different things, like 3 things that come to mind. McDonald's is really gearing towards the wrestling scene because Britt Baker's all got them wrapped around her finger, and they're gonna come out with a Britt Mac. You watched; it's gonna happen.
Oh my God,
it's going.
That was a weird
happen.
move. The first thing you heard when she won the championship was like Big Macs. It was like,
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Yep.
If it works for Tony Stark when he gets rescued in the desert, it can work for Britt Baker.
Yes,
right, that's true,
and her
that's true.
favorite from McDonald's, I believe, is the Big Mac. So a Britt Mac is a Big Mac without the metal bun.
now it's
okay.
Pro wrestling and fast food social media has been a match made in heaven.
And
they've been best friends.
Yeah.
I mean, these two entities have been best friends now for a while.
Oh yeah, and McDonald's they're watching her because like she'll tweet and retweet a bunch of their stuff, and then like she even put something along the lines of like they asked her like, what's your favorite meal or sandwich or whatever from McDonald's, and she put like emojis, and it was like a burger -1 or something, and they came back with, oh, it's a Big Mac without the metal bun. Like they just knew it. So I think I don't know.
I will say
cool.
it's the ultimate heel move.
Oh my
for
gosh!
For a dentist to be promoted McDonald's.
100%. No, it's not a bad move. It's a smart move because she's gonna get more people to come in to see her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, who doesn't love McDonald's?
Now
Who wants candy?
now I wonder, having grown up in the Chicago market, we had a lot of like Michael Jordan themed things. Like there was the McJordan sandwich, but it was released in other markets, I think, as other, like it was their go-to. We're gonna name a sandwich after somebody.
Yeah.
Something. Where now I wonder if that would apply. Like if Brit would be big enough for that. Where it's
It would
like,
just
we're
be in
gonna...
Jacksonville and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody else knows what the hell it is. But
by the way, a McJordan special was a quarter-pound burger, cheese, bacon, barbecue sauce, onions, mustard, and pickles.
So it wasn't anything all that special. They just slapped.
This sounds like what they had
a-
to do when like McRib season was over and they had to unload the
Yeah.
extra barbecue
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do? Just put it on a burger. How do we sell it? Name it after Jordan. Okay.
Send it all to Chicago.
Limited edition barbecue.
But
Yeah, it's the
burger.
BTS burger.
Yeah.
Come on, kids, come
Woo!
get it.
But I think I learned from wrestling this week that I almost died a couple times last week, and I didn't know until watching the reverse angle of that.
You live to tell the tale.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't piss off a Bosnian, sir.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know what you did.
I didn't do anything.
I just
but, yeah.
were there more incidents out there I wasn't aware of?
No, I don't know.
No?
I'm sure something probably happened at Rise too. But
yeah. You were pretty far away from everybody getting like tossed off of the balcony at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah. Nobody got Derek
boy.
didn't get dropped on me or anything.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, exactly.
We got to like go through like the back catalog on indiewrestling.us. This might be a job for the intern. Just find incidents of like Rob nearly meeting his end, but like happenstance or luck saving him. Like a chair's flying through the air and someone just throws their body in front of it.
Speaking
he
of
never
Royal,
even knows.
Speaking of like Katie was saying, about like when she debuted at Rural Valley, for IWC. I don't think it was that. Well, I'm not sure I was at that show, but it was one of the Rural Valley shows where there was like a street fight between. It was like the SDDs and maybe Gambino and somebody where I like surfed a chair on a wet floor.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I think you can maybe see it on the hard cam. Maybe I'm like zipping right across the.
Oh my gosh, I have to
right
find
across
it.
the back of the ring.
I have to find it now. I want to see
It's
this.
on the video. It's definitely on the video.
We got to get to work on this compilation.
Yeah.
Like cameraman Rob's wildest moments.
That
Like
show-
Oh my gosh, yes, Rob's wildest moments.
And it's never getting
When
like,
we make this
Dodging.
compilation,
and it's never getting like sandwiched between a bunch of people and pinned down. It's always like something really, really dumb.
when we make this compilation, can we set it to like a classical playing of John Cena's song? Because it's like the footprints in the sand. Like when you don't know who's looking out for you, it's always John Cena. Because you can't see him.
Cameraman Rob has a guardian angel that he doesn't even know is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get.
And it's like footsteps going into a wrestling ring, yeah, and then it becomes one, and it's like that's when I carried you.
It's usually those.
and Lord knows, Cena's carried
Yeah,
just about
he's
everyone.
carried a lot of-
he's ever been with.
Yeah.
Still doing God and Vince McMahon's work.
Yeah.
So did I miss anybody else? Chat room, is there anything out there? You guys have something you learned from this week? I'm not seeing any updates in the chat
didn't see
room.
anything.
Hopefully that means the chat room didn't die. Garza confirmed our stream over on YouTube tonight, by the way. So,
Thanks, Garza.
Of course he did.
Of course
Coward.
he did.
Yeah.
Coward.
Coward.
Hey, somebody's got to check out our other streams and make sure they're working, and he's doing the good work. Speaking of Garza, let's plug real quick. Mainstream Matt, you did something special with Garza last week. That's over on Just Pro Wrestling News.
Yes, on the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast feed, there's a 30 to 45-minute conversation, me and our friend Antonio Garza discussing the fringe promotions that we don't talk about enough. We talked about Stardom at length. Garza did most of the talking. And then we talked about New Japan. We talked about Ring of Honor. We talked about Impact, of course, because Garza is the internet's most trusted voice.
I love that he's watching all this stuff that as a whole none of us are watching.
Yeah.
And there's a whole other subsection of that. That's how much wrestling is happening.
I would
A
be
lot of the
okay
conversation-
checking out Impact every now and then. They just have to do one simple thing.
Yeah.
Well, they refollowed Sammy Callahan, so you're
Yeah, I saw.
Refollowed.
Yes.
So obviously someone
they
is awake
unfollowed him
over
when he
there.
got
so,
fired.
yeah.
And then they refollowed
yeah,
him when he got rehired.
But
I'm still blocked.
They unfollowed Sammy when he got fired on Impact at the pay-per-view, and then refollowed when he got rehired, and they fired Don Callis or whatever. But Mad Mike still blocked.
I mean, I tried Mad Mike.
So many years.
I tweeted at Sammy, and I was like, hey, great, Sammy, proud of you.
We tweeted
Happy
at
for
them.
you. Hey, our buddy Mad Mike's been blocked for 7 years. Can you do something?
I'm pretty sure I mentioned something in passing to Josh Matthews when we were working together a few years ago, and it just didn't happen. So
You mentioned it to Josh Matthews, and Josh Matthews probably went,
You know what? I would love to
or he's like,
see
I'm sorry,
if
you're the
Impact
help.
only has like one blocked person, and it's me.
No. You're no way. You're the only blocked person.
I know.
There's
but
no.
it's really
There's a
funny.
lot of people got hate. Reba Hardy's probably blocked by Impact Wrestling after a few years ago.
yeah.
So Reba. No, what's her name?
No.
Rebel. No, wait.
Rebby?
Rebby.
Rebby. Thank you. I'm sorry.
You're
I
getting
apologize.
confused.
I apologize.
Reba.
don't you get your
She
rebels and your
was-
Revas and your Ribbies?
She was so fun on Twitter because we bought the fuck that out. F that owl shirt.
We had an owl in
And
the studio.
we had an owl in the studio, played it up. She would
Ultimate
retweet
X.
us and comment every week.
Rest in
and,
peace, Ultimate X.
And I talked to Matt about it when they were in for that one show up in Meadville, and they were great to play along with. But anyways, it's weird to me the owl's still on like the championship belt. By the way, like I noticed that with Omega.
Well, why
Holding
haven't you
last-
brought it in studio, Sork?
What?
Oh, I was gonna say, so it's not even here.
No, not
Oh,
the owl.
is on the physical
Not
belt.
the. I'm saying on the
Oh.
belt. On the
Oh.
belt for
I-
Impact
Oh.
Wrestling is
Oh.
still an owl.
I thought you meant
Is what I'm.
arrow,
I was
okay.
literally everybody in the studio started looking around for the owl.
Well, I was
Woo,
following you,
woo,
and then I
woo.
see Rob looking. I'm like, oh, is it here?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know it was here.
What's he seeing that I'm not? Yeah.
Yeah, really.
When you haven't been, nobody's been in the studio to this capacity for a year and a half. You never know what has happened. So,
Would you say we're at max capacity?
listen, I don't know who Max Capacity
Yeah,
is.
I was waiting for this
when
max
he-
capacity.
When he
guy to
no-showed
show.
at that Prospect Pro Wrestling. But what else is plugging? Katie, you got your social medias out earlier, of course, but a reminder.
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go follow me, Katie Arquette, the Katie Arquette, and the KT Arquette on Twitter.
A lot of our matches are up over at indiewrestling.us and actually a lot for free actually over on the YouTube page, so you can see a lot of your history. I think maybe even back to your first match potentially. So
Don't say,
there's-
don't
there
tell
might
them
be,
that.
It
Don't
might be
advertise that.
a lot of
No,
early stuff.
no,
There's
no,
a lot of
no,
early
no,
stuff.
no, no.
So
We don't need to go back to that first time. I don't know.
it's
But I mean,
fine.
she eventually beats Britt Baker. That's the
Uh,
thing.
After like
that would be
7
good.
times.
After losing to her about 12 times. She's, yeah.
Is that
Or
what 12 of those
that'd be a good
16
series.
losses?
Bring wrestlers on.
Yeah,
and
that's
have
where
them
those
watch their first
16
match.
losses
Sure, she
came
was like
from.
0-14 against her for a year, but then,
well, that's a hell of a run then, like 23-2.
yeah, I know.
I
mean, I
hey,
thought
it only
after,
takes one time, and it did.
That's
I got
right.
it. I
after
got
that
it.
29th loss, I'm like, you know what? I feel it. I think she's really got, she's due for a win now.
Hey, family came in clutch that night, so it
Yeah,
worked
that's
out.
right,
It
that's
ca-
right.
It worked.
Yeah.
It
Nothing
was a
stronger
great-
than family.
Great night with David Arquette. You still have the jacket?
I do.
They
I
gave
come
you?
out with it in every promotion.
That's right. That's
You
right.
need to get on though. He didn't call you up for the Family Feud.
I know. I'm upset.
It's
I'm
very
upset.
unfortunate.
We have the same last name. We're
I say you go
distant
straight to
relatives.
RJ on that one and be like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
it is RJ's fault. I'm gonna
Yeah.
blame RJ. Yeah, it's RJ. RJ, it's your
Yeah.
fault.
Somehow.
You know what? Tell RJ just to make up for it, he has to get you on the bump.
Yeah,
Yes.
you listening, RJ? You listening?
See,
I feel
leverage that.
I feel like with this Family Feud stuff, that who was on the team again? It's RJ, it's David Arquette, it's Dalton Castle. Who were the other two again?
Jungle Boy,
Jungle Boy.
and Peter Avalon.
Peter Avalon.
What a
Yeah.
team!
So- but
What
but
a
I feel like this has been again talking about I was talking about long cons earlier, where this whole wrestling thing has been a way for RJ to get on a 70s game show.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was a whole
he's slowly trying to maneuver his way
Like-
into a remake of the Golden
like it's
Girls
like
with a
everything
big-
else he's gotten to do. It's like awesome, but all he really wanted to do was end up on Family Feud.
It's like the wrestlers are like, I don't want to go to WWE, I want to go to New Japan. Like that's his New Japan,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like he's not even interested. He doesn't even care that he's on Peacock right now. He's just like, listen,
I mean,
This is a
I'd
step
love to be on
towards-
Family Feud.
It's like as long as Gato sees this, that's all that
As long as
matters.
Gato sees it, right?
Yeah.
As long as Betty sees this. As
long as Steve Harvey sees
Wait,
Yeah.
what channel was Golden Girls on?
NBC originally, but I think
And
it died on CBS. when it was Golden
RJ,
Palace.
right? So we'll just say NBC. But
I think.
RJ is on Peacock.
Yeah.
Who carried the Golden Girls? Do they currently
Just-
carry the Golden Girls?
Sorg, as you may have noticed from these many streaming services, just because the show aired on a network when we were younger doesn't mean it's the property of that streaming
It has more to do
service
with the
today.
production
True.
company.
It's the production company.
Yeah.
So who produced the Golden Girls?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, it's streaming right now.
But RJ City knows.
It is streaming right now on Peacock or on
Okay.
Hulu.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I end up on mic there. But because I was distracted by the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
So somebody had so I was working with somebody this weekend that had a Golden Girls shirt on. That was I was appreciating.
It wasn't like it was.
It was somebody Saturday, but anyways, that doesn't matter.
It wasn't like Xander Gabriel or somebody. Was
a lot
it?
of stuff going on this
Dean.
weekend. Rob and I will be in Brooklyn. And hopefully another videographer for MV Young's Polyam Party 4. I believe that will be on the Jim Sterling channel on Twitch. So keep an eye out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of friends of the show. I believe Ziggy Heim and Effie, first time ever, amongst others. I think Lee's on there as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a lot of friends of the friends of us. I don't know. I mean, people like okay, we know enough people here.
Yeah. A lot of friends of the show, a lot of friends of the network, and all that kind of stuff are going to be part of it. It's going to be in Brooklyn. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to being a part of that and helping stream that situation. So look forward to that. We also have interviews scheduled coming up this month. We had to push back, but we should be talking with Sam Beal next week on the Indie Mayhem show. So make sure you're brushed up on those feeds, or you're on the super feed, so you don't miss any of the wrestling content going out. And I feel like there was something else I was supposed to plug, but we'll get to that. Main Street Matt, just ProWrestlingNews.com.
It's true. 5 minutes or less every morning we catch you up on the biggest news across the world of major professional wrestling, so you don't have to watch the shows.
Mad Mike 4883 on the Twitter.
Yeah, I talk about things and stuff and wrestling and things.
Fantastic. And also, Rob, look for him in the background of your favorite show on Hulu.
Yeah, I today I worked on American Rust, which debuts on Showtime in September.
Oh, it's a Showtime?
It's a Showtime
I don't
show.
pay for Showtime. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Rob.
I sat on a bus for 5 minutes today after in a 9-hour day.
Big time.
Look for the bus.
Big time.
Yeah.
Also,
if there's a bus, I might be on
I
it.
keep remembering. I feel like it's your biggest role, but in the crowd on Southpaw.
Oh, yeah. God, I haven't thought about that movie in
Didn't
years.
we discover Eric Kleiber was on that show too?
He was
on that
I don't
movie?
know. I think
he was.
No, it was Warrior.
That was Warrior because he was Kurt Angle's manager.
Yeah, that was
and they
Warrior.
ended up cutting him out, but he still gets residuals.
Yeah, that's he still get paid.
So
you get paid day of, or
look
not
at,
day of, not day
look
of.
at Eric Kleiber
when you work,
working the system. Check out his Grown Ass Dad special on Amazon Prime as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katie, for coming on.
Thank you always for having me. I was
you.
glad to be a part of it.
Thank you, and thank you, Mason, for providing the interview questions as well.
Yes.
So part of the Future Podcasters of America initiative that we have going on here. He's got headphones going on. Does he have something to say?
Oh, he's got a live
Mason,
headphones.
Mason, do you
Cut the
have any
mic, cut the
final
mic.
words for us tonight?
There were some really good interview questions.
Uh-oh, he's got Matt in his ear.
On the mic. Get on the mic. Say it. Say it. We got to go.
Mayhem out.
Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.